God's not going to look at what exactly you do, but God's going to look at how much you are trying to stop it and how much you really want to stop. And that is the secret in the spiritual life, which a lot of people do not understand. They might see a woman of ill repute, we'll use that word, who could be doing her trade. And people say, oh, she's this and that, and go on and on. Like Orthodox people too. Put her down, put her down, put her down, put her down, rubbish her, she's going to go to hell. She's doomed. Oh, the demons love her, and she's possessed, she's this, she's that, and the demons are on her shoulder, and all these type of things. But yet, do we know her past? Do we know whether she was kidnapped, like a lot of children are being kidnapped now and taken in and forced into that type of way of life? And they are then put on to drugs. They can become addicted, so they can keep on doing the trade for their slave owners, just so they can keep on getting money. So therefore that person will keep on going because they want the drug. Or if they leave, they might get killed. We don't know any of these things, of what's going on. But we sit and judge and judge and judge. So this is the point. The same with whether it's homosexuality, or whether with this, or whether with that. The only time we have a right to speak up is when the person says there's nothing wrong with what I do. If I stood here and said to you, it's all right to smoke, then you can speak up. That's what we should do with fellow Christians. When we see them sin, it depends on that. They could have just fell at that moment. They could have had God allowed that. Not that God forced them to sin, but God allowed the temptation. They chose to do it. Because when we sin, it's our own choice. Because don't get mixed up and say, oh, God made me sin. God does not make us sin. Not even say the devil makes us sin. Remember the example of the monk in the monastery. It was a fast period, I think, and the monk was starving. And the abbot heard some pots and pans in the kitchen, went down there and caught the monk, and he was down there boiling some eggs at a time that he shouldn't be doing that. And then the abbot said, how dare you? And this, you're not allowed to eat outside of the times. That's their rule. And then the next day, because the kitchen was closed, he couldn't get access to the stove, he thought to himself, okay, so he got his key from his, those how they have in the old ancient monasteries. They've got keys that are as big as a horse's brush, really, really big. So he got this big key. He put the egg on top of the key and put it over the candle to start to cook it, because he was that much he wanted to eat. So then the abbot was enlightened by God and said, go and check, just in case. He walks in and he saw the monk over the candle boiling the thing, and then the abbot said, what are you doing? Like, aren't you ashamed? He goes, oh, the devil made me do it. And then there was a voice, which was the demon himself, and said, no, not even I thought of that, right? From that example, what the church is trying to teach us is that a lot of times, we blame the demons, but a lot of times it's ourselves. We think of things ourselves. And we like to say, oh, the devil did it. My wife did, my child made me do this, that, but we don't blame ourselves. God would have accepted Adam and Eve if they repented. They did a big sin. They said, don't eat from that tree. The way God came to them, where are you? Really gentle voice, loving voice. Where are you? And they were hiding. And he goes, why are you hiding? He knew. But trying to make them, to help them to repent. He didn't come like fire and brimstone and with a really thing. He came really gently. And then they said, the snake made me do it, Eve said. And then Adam said, oh, the wife you gave me made me do it. And then he banished them. He didn't banish them because they sinned, but God banished them because they did not repent. That is the difference. So we have to be very, very careful when we are judging circumstances. A lot of times we do not know everything. Only God knows 100% everything. There were some Protestants in America, and they go around and say that God hates America, and God hates America because of their passing of laws in favour of homosexuality. and that the war in Iraq is bad, and therefore all the soldiers that died in Iraq, it's their punishment from God. And they go around to funerals of these soldiers and say it's God's punishment, and God hates this, and God this, and God, and it's like really, really bad. And this reporter had access to them. This is only like a family, by the way, just one big family, and they are Baptists of some description. And the reporter went there, and he asked one of the girls, the daughters of the people there, who was around 19, 20, goes, "Am I going to go to hell?" And she goes, yeah, you're going to go to hell. And she was laughing. Yeah, you're going to go to hell because you don't follow God, and you're going to go to hell. And he goes, "Well, but why are you laughing? I'm going to go to hell." Because you are. And that was her attitude. And this is really bad, because those people actually are putting Christianity down. And I remember reading a book, Starec Siljanos, a Russian saint, and in there's a description, there's something about some monks, they were talking, and someone came along and said, "All heretics are going to go to hell," like that. And then the monks there said, a person who is with God, a person who has love, can never wish someone to go to hell, can never even conceive in his mind for someone to be in hell. Whether someone goes to hell or not, it's God's judgment. But for us to say it like that, and some people go, the writings of the saints say that people who aren't Orthodox are called heretics. And some priests say, don't say those words. And then the answer to that is, but they are heretics, so why can't we say those words? If they're heretics, the fathers of the church use those words that they are heretics, they're not following the Orthodox faith. Why can't we use it? Because when the fathers of the church used those words, they used it with full love. They used them in a way that was with pain, a way where they wanted the person to come to their senses. They prayed for the person or the group of people. But we, a lot of times, say it with not 1 ounce of care about the other person and say, "You're a heretic," like that. And you're going to go to hell. And like those people over there, the Baptist ones in America, and others as well. And I'm talking about the Orthodox most of all. We got to be very careful of how we judge others. Those Baptists believe that they are the only ones in the whole world that will be saved, just that family, because they are the only ones that talk against homosexuality. It's like every single page of the New Testament is gays are bad, gays are horrible, gays are this, gays are that. That's not what the gospel is about. There's a lot of things in there. That is in there as well. But these people just emphasize that. We have to be very careful how we look at others.
Evangelii